the market sold off quite aggressively today. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why, all right, and what are the clues that y'all were supposed to be looking for before the collapse happened. I'm also going to be sharing with y'all my thoughts on what's going to happen within the next few days. And I'm going to be doing an update on some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the past videos. Ciao. Now, before we begin, again, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, right? So let's get right into it. So today was a phenomenal day for all of the shorts out there. For the past few videos, this is the spot. Again, we're going to go back to the Nasdaq because the Nasdaq is an easier chart to read and to explain, right? I have been warning y'all about this sell-off for the last few days since the previous videos right here all the way down. It didn't get to 11,000 in that red box. It took a sweet time, which is okay. All right, the big picture was there. The bear flag on the daily looks wonderful now, right? And the situation today, how could you have known that it was going to drop today? Well, I saw this bear flag. I saw this bear flag this morning, right here. Like, I was a bit hesitant on if it was going to stall once again today, but once it broke down, like, this was game over. This right here, what you see with this chart, is a small bear flag within a massive bear flag, right? So this picture right here is very, very similar to what I've been talking to y'all about for the past 3 weeks on the large time frame, right? As you can see, there's even these three little peaks right here. And if we compare that to the 4 hour, for example, right? Like, they're right here. It's the same, it's a similar scenario, but on a very, very small scale. And that's how I knew that it was going to have that massive collapse. Today, we took a day trade on Apple. We bought Apple puts for a day trade to the downside, right? It was very, very obvious. The move was there, and it just kept dropping and dropping. And now that the bear flag is completely, how do I say this? I don't want to say that it's done cooking. I don't want to say that because it could always waste more time and go sideways. It really, really could, right? But when I look at it on, like, let's say the weekly, for example, I think that this week could close underneath that bottom white line, underneath this line right here. And then next week, we could see how, I don't want to say worse, because if you shorten, then it's good for you, right? But if you're hopeful and you're like long and you're bullish all the time and all you want is for the market to go up, well, the situation might get worse, all right? But right now, I'm just gonna say that it could go all the way down to like 10,500 maybe next week. But let's take this thing day by day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. If there is terrible news in the morning at around like 7:30ish again, then we could see this thing actually break down all the way down to like 10,900. All right, and then we might see a massive red candle to the downside, and if that happens, then everything else should collapse. All right, now let's look at the VIX. I told y'all with the VIX that one thing for sure that was going to happen is $23 is going to break as soon as 11,000 on the Nasdaq gets taken out, and it did today, as you can see. I don't think it's done yet. I think we're about to retest 24 again. All right, especially if everything collapses with the Nasdaq. So that's pretty much how you could have foreseen this move that happened today, right? It was very, very obvious. Now, one stock that I want to look at for in updates, in the last video, I shared with y'all LAC. All right, I told y'all this one was about to make a massive move to the downside because it looked exactly like Apple. All right. And this one, it's not disappointing at all. Like this one, the structure is still clean. The downtrend is still there. It's following through. The volume at the bottom is increasing, right? And it's following option number 1. It's not doing option number 2, where it wastes everybody's time, right? So if you showed in this one, my thoughts and opinions on LAC is still the same. I think it's gonna drop to at least 1750. I don't know how fast. I really don't know. Maybe by the end of the year. Maybe by next week when everything collapses again, right? Maybe by then we might see LAC at 18 bucks. So yeah, that's the update for the stock. Congrats to anybody who made money on this one. Now the next one that I want to do an update on is McDonald's. All right, and with McDonald's, that bear flag is still there. All right, if you compare this thing to what I just showed you with the Nasdaq, it's the same thing. Like it's the same. Well, it's a similar structure. The only thing that this one is missing is the triple tops right here before the collapse, right? So right now with the Nasdaq is looking like this. It's looking like that. If I put the Nasdaq on the 4-hour, you will see what I mean. It's right there because we had this we had buyers step in the afternoon, right? So tomorrow, if there's a gap down like this, then anybody who did bought this thing hoping for a massive move like that with the Nasdaq, will be careful because you might get the opposite thing, and tomorrow could just be absolutely red on every single sector. All right, so that's my 2 cents on that one. And with McDonald's, obviously if it collapses tomorrow, it's going to get in the green circle tomorrow, I think. All right, I think so. Let's just see if we get some news at 7:30ish. We'll see. Now the next one that we will do an update on is, well, if you look at Apple. All right, I told you we took a day trade on it like 10 minutes after the market opened. If we look at Apple's look exactly like LAC, and I haven't touched anything on there. All right, I'm still bearish on the stock. I think it can go a little bit lower. I think, again, I don't know how fast. But it's not. But it's clean for me to not be bullish on the stock. It's clean to the downside. So that's for Apple. The last stock for today's video that I need to look at for y'all is Disney. All right, and with Disney is kind of dragging its feet, but it's at the price that I told y'all on Tuesday it would be. I told you that it could waste more time before forming this candle right here. It didn't open high, right? And it didn't have a massive bar down, but the price is pretty close to 86. And then tomorrow might be a good day for shorts. I think that last candle right here, which represents tomorrow, would be quite accurate. Again, I think it's gonna drop to at least 83 tomorrow. I think it could even drop all the way down to 80 all in one day. So overall, the structure is still clean. I have no change in opinion on Disney. All right, so that's pretty much my very honest thoughts on the overall market, my thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added any social media yet, you can find me at NGumah, PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, If you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there's some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to have all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.